Hi everybody, this is Keeping It Real with FK and I'm your host Faisal Kapadia. आज हमारे साथ जो शख्सियत जो एक्ट्रेस बैठी हुई हैं उनका नाम है आयशा उमर. She is no stranger to the screen or to fame. She's an actress, she's a model, she's a influencer, she's an EDM artist, she's a singer, she's a painter. She's all in one. Aisha, who is Aisha Umar? Tell us her.
You know, when you were going to say EDM, I mean, when you were saying EDM, I thought you were going to say she's an idiot, which I am. I am an idiot. Come on, Faisal, you have to hand that to me also.
No, you're not an
there
idiot.
Are times where
a little bit impulsive.
Yeah, I am. I'm impulsive. And keeping it real with Faisal Kapadia, ye jo naam hai aapke show ka, Faisal. What's interesting is that my own hashtag is keep it real, and it was my description on my Instagram for 2-3 years. I just changed it recently. मैंने कहा चलो कुछ different करते हैं. So I really resonate with this tagline. And who is Ayesha Omar really? And Ayesha Omar wants to do all these things that you just mentioned. I want to sing, I want to paint, I want to dance, I want to act, I want to travel, I want to explore new mediums of expression, and I also want to exercise and take care of my body, take care of my mind. तो मुझे तो लगता है कि ये सारी चीजें जो है वो मेरी पर्सनालिटी का भी हिस्सा है और मेरी जिंदगी का भी.
Acha, Aisha, tell me, what are you going through in these COVID times? I see you've been cycling a lot in Ramadan. I was watching pictures of you going around phase 8 and 6, cycling with obviously observing SOPs with a few friends of yours, cycling all the way to the beach as well. You've been doing a lot of healthy activities. Almost started a fitness class as well, haven't you?
Well, I did do a few live exercise sessions, and it was pretty like impulsive of me that also. Kyunki, you know, जब आप live sessions करते हैं, Faisal, you know, it's live, you know, and exercising is not something which is like easy to do live, because you know you're making mistakes. आपका posture गलत हो सकता है, आप कुछ, you know, you can just look silly also. So it was quite a step that I took. But my thing was that I just wanted people, my fans, my followers, and anyone else who's watching me on my Instagram to just know that, you know, we're all in this together. COVID has been, this entire time, the last few months have been so new and so
horrifying is the word.
You know, they've been horrifying, they've been so stressful, itni anxiety hai kabhi nahi hoti. So it's an amalgamation of a lot of different feelings. Shuru mein to ye hua, Faisal, that you know, when lockdown happened and initially when COVID entered the country, jab hamare cases badhna shuru hue, or nobody knew what to really do, you know, how to counter this. And अभी information नई आ रही थी, अब articles पढ़ना शुरू हो रहे थे, everybody is just glued to their TV screens or their phones to find out more and sharing bits of information. And then the first 2 weeks, so yeah, it just became too intense. And I was not moving around. I would be sitting in one spot for like 8 hours, eating stressfully, or मेरी सारा staff छुट्टी पे, मैं बिल्कुल घर पे अकेली थी.
Eating? So you hardly eat, Ayesha.
Oh no, now that's another. I would say
it's a fallacy.
Everybody who knows me, everybody who knows me knows that I love food and I live to eat. So that I'm a foodie. I started getting people together. I would just randomly stop my neighbors and be like, "You want to start biking?" And they'd be like, "Oh, we don't have a bike." I was like, "I'll give you a number. I'll help you guys get a bike." Yeah. So I got a bunch of people together in my neighborhood. फिर हमने G-bikes ली और फिर एक biking squad बना और वो तो बड़ा पक्का group बना. फिर बहुत और groups बने. I'm a part of like 6 biking groups. Um, but the one I love most is my neighborhood biking group, and because it's very convenient. We just meet at a spot, or जो भी available होता है वो उस time पे आ जाता है. So it was lovely. There've been abhi bhi there are good days, bad days. There's a lot of social media in our lives, which is uh, sometimes it kind of helps, sometimes it really, really uh, kills. It does.
Let's
Sometimes it
come to
does.
let's come to social media. Uh, there's a lot of talk about gaslighting these days. What is your
Mhm.
experience online? Have you been gaslighted by your fellow colleagues, somebody in the industry?
First gaslighting की बात भी करते हैं. Okay, what do you think is gaslighting? Like when you say gaslighting?
Well, I think gaslighting happens when somebody is made to feel like there's something wrong with them just for having an opinion, and especially the
True.
female gender. That
Yeah, and to
आपने
provoke people.
yes, जैसे
बिल्कुल.
आपने आपने मुझे
Provoke करने के
कहा
लिए.
कि फैसल, no, this should be done like this, and I would be like, no, Aisha, what's wrong with you? This is not how it's
Yeah.
supposed to happen. You know?
Um, yeah, there is gaslighting in the industry. There's gaslighting by colleagues sometimes. Um, and being a woman, I mean, I don't want to just make this about genders at all.
Yeah.
लेकिन फैसल थोड़ा सा तो
Yes,
yes,
ज्यादातर तो
women
women के साथ
are.
ही होता है. I mean, let's face it.
Huh?
ज्यादातर तो women के साथ ही होता
Yeah,
है.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So being a woman in Pakistan, um, who also lives away from her family, I don't have a father. मेरा भाई भी बाहर है, he's not physically here. My mother's in another city. So I'm not surrounded by like a close family system. And all my friends are also in another city, my close childhood friends. So, of course, एक physical sense of loneliness भी होता है. Or women are gaslighted generally by the society also, I
Mm.
feel.
Mm.
You,
Aisha,
you just, yeah.
I've known you for over, I think, 2 years now, and I've seen a rapid change in you. I've seen a
Oh,
change in
really?
you. I've seen a change in you where you become much calmer. Is this the 2 month break that you got because of COVID, or something's happened? Something's changed.
It
You
could
have
be.
become a
It
lot
could be.
more relaxed.
Yeah, there's less work pressure, obviously, because,
Work, but you're still doing work, observing SOPs and stuff. Bulbul is still
yeah,
going on. Other things are
but
still going on.
Faisal shoots पे भागना दौड़ना इधर से उधर that causes a lot of anxiety for someone like me who's managing things on her own. घर भी चलाना है, finances भी देखने हैं, you gotta pay the bills, you gotta calculate everything. And you know me, I'm very particular about things, whether it's my food or whether it's what I'm wearing or whether it's my surroundings. I like to sort of go into the details of things,
Yes.
right? So I like to be self-sufficient, and when you're doing too many things, and when there's too much happening, like I remember November, December मेरे लिए बहुत busy थे. इतने projects मैं simultaneously कर रही थी, इतने projects कर रही थी मैं. October, November, not October, I was traveling half of October. लेकिन 2.5 महीना until the end of December was so intense. And I was, I think, juggling so many things
Now
together
you're
that it was
flying into
creating a
Balochistan
lot of.
for the movie shoot. You were flying everywhere.
हर 2 दिन बाद I was flying somewhere else, okay? And then I was flying around the world also. कभी नॉर्वे जा रहे हैं, कभी लंदन जा रहे हैं, कभी ह्यूस्टन से आ रहे हैं. So there was a lot happening. And that was giving me a lot of stress, and it was getting hard to manage things. But it so happened कि जितने भी projects मैंने sign up किए हुए थे, उन सब के कोई ना कोई अपने internal issues थे, जिनकी वजह से सारों को एक ही chunk of dates चाहिए थी, right? Delays हुए उनके कोई किसी की कोई location problems हो जाती हैं, किसी का कुछ हो जाता है, so सबको एक ही time पे dates चाहिए थी. And it became very tough to manage, but I did.
Achha, let's talk about some of your causes. You are what I call a staunch educationist. you're very big on education, and because of that purpose,
Yeah,
I guess you've just been selected as the Goodwill Ambassador for the TCF Foundation as well.
I
What are your thoughts?
know, I
What are,
know.
what are your thoughts on this? This is a big milestone for you, Aisha. You've been into education. I
Alhamdulillah.
know the school
Yes.
that you support also for a long time, and you don't talk
Yeah,
about these things, but
yeah, Faisal, I consider myself like this really blessed child. क्योंकि जो मेरी circumstances थे when I was young, they could have taken me anywhere. I could have been just a child who didn't get a proper education. But I was very lucky क्योंकि मुझे एक तो my mother moved to another city when my father died. और हमें एक बहुत अच्छे very expensive very one of the top schools in Pakistan, Lahore Grammar School, Lahore, उसमें admission मिली on merit basis, like on a scholarship. And me and my brother couldn't afford to study in that school at all, like zero. But we were given like a financial, like a merit scholarship, I
yeah,
guess. It's a scholarship. And it's based on also your it was also based on my ability, like my, I would say, my merit, but it was also based on um, being an underprivileged child. And I'm calling myself that because we couldn't afford that education. So unka, I think the principal had a bit of a, what would you say, a quota for students who can't afford to study in the school. And I started studying in grammar school, and I'm hugely like grateful to Mrs. Neelam Hussain. She's the board of directors, in the board of directors, and she was my principal. और मैंने वहाँ से 11th किया, फिर मैंने NCA गई, वहाँ से पढ़ा. So I just feel like if I didn't have my education, I would be nowhere. And that's a fact. If you don't have an education,
yeah,
it's very hard to get by in life. So मैंने कहा कि यार अगर कोई चीज है जिस पे मैंने काम करना है, if there's any way that I want to give back to society, it has to be education. And my mother also feels the same way. So I started donating to an institution like 12, 13 years ago. और वो एक पूरा school system है. It's a school for garbage pickers. एंड वो शुरू भी वो एक है, एक पर्सनालिटी, बहुत अमेजिंग इंसान है. उन्होंने उन्हीं के लिए शुरू किया, उन बच्चों के लिए जो कचरा चुनते हैं और उसको बेचते हैं. और 3 बच्चों से शुरू किया, and then the school grew, and then there are like 4,000 students. Wow. So yeah, and I used to do morning show, a live morning show, CNBC पे मैंने एक काफी अरसा किया था. And they wanted me to continue for like years, but I was like, भाई मैं तो, me, I need to travel. So I was like, भाई ये live show तो नहीं हो सकता मुझसे, every single morning. And I did it for a while. I loved it. And I would go visit amazing places, and this school was one of them. तो मैं वहाँ गई, वहाँ से मैंने live show किया, and I was just crying the whole time. Not crying because I was like, oh, look at the plight of the kids. I was crying because I was like, oh, wow, look at this. Look at what this guy is doing. Look at these students. They're so happy, and they're so well taken care of, and they're learning skills. और उनको 2 वक्त का खाना भी उस स्कूल में मिल रहा था. और
बड़ी बात.
I was like, man, ये बंदा जो है ना, इसको, I need to support this guy. Yes.
Tell me, Aisha, you're no stranger to controversy, as we both know. This new controversy.
As much as I run from it,
this new controversy about Turkish actors coming and doing stuff in Pakistan. You've taken a stand on this today. I read a tweet of yours today also on this.
Yeah, this tweet was a long time coming. I should have tweeted a while ago. मैं बड़े दिनों से देख रही थी लोगों की conversations. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I've started watching At the Grill. At the Grill. I started very recently.
So should I ask you which Alp do you like?
I mean, I love them all. And I'm still on the first season, which is the baby season.
I'm on the first season also. It's huge. It's long.
Yeah, man. And apparently the second season is when it really picks up, So अभी second season में मैं बताऊंगी कि who's my favorite. But I think it's a fantastic show, and I think that any international talent coming in to our country, endorsing brands, their content coming in, I think it's fantastic. We learn from them.
Because I think
They
it's a two-way
inspire
street,
us.
right? It's a two-way street. I mean, we can go there also now. I mean,
Of
why don't you
course.
think of it like this? I mean, Turkish productions are excellent. I mean, they produce ethical, they can produce other stuff
बिल्कुल.
with us also, take our actors also. Why don't we think like that? ये तो वही वाली insecurity है जो I guess I can say कि इंडिया में होती थी जब राहत फतेह अली खान और आतिफ और सब इंडिया गए थे तो आई गेस वहां पे भी लोगों को
बिल्कुल.
यही
बिल्कुल.
इनसिक्योरिटी होना शुरू हो गई थी उन्होंने ऐसे ही रिएक्ट किया था एंड वी वर ऑल गिविंग गालीज ओवर देयर कि लुक एट हाउ idiotic they are and now we are doing the same thing. I mean,
See, I wasn't really following that at that time, Faisal, but because you're saying it, you could be totally right. Um, and you're right. We need to be accepting. We need to accept so that kal ko when we want or demand or sort of aspire for the same thing, तो फिर मतलब practice तो किया हो ना जो आप reach करना चाह रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल.
So, but uske alawa bhi, I just feel even if it wasn't about, um, like, oh, we need to do it so that we are welcomed, even if it's not
No,
about
I mean,
that.
I'm just making a point
अगर आप
that,
वैसे भी सोचें, yeah, even अगर आप, without all that, if I think of it, I mean, artists are artists. There are no boundaries.
yes.
I would love to go and work in other parts of the world. I would love to go and work in other industries. And I hope and I pray that I do, inshallah, inshallah. And I would love to represent my country all over the world. And usi tarah, they would love to do that, and anybody would love to do that, and I would love to see people coming into my country.
So I'm going to look forward to a Ayesha Omar concert in Istanbul then.
Why not? If I tell you something secretly, by the way, and I've told people this, और ये मेरी अम्मी की ख्वाहिश है, इसमें मेरा कोई वो नहीं है इनपुट, लेकिन बचपन से मेरी अम्मी की ख्वाहिश पता क्या थी?
क्या?
कि प्लीज किसी टर्किश मुस्लिम से शादी करना.
Oh my God.
Please,
Okay.
please go find a man in Turkey.
शादियां तो कोविड टाइम्स में बहुत सारी हो रही हैं आयशा तो आपको साइकिलिंग करते हुए कोई नहीं समझ में आया
नहीं भाई हम अपने काम से काम रखते हैं
because it
हम अपने
seems
काम
like
से काम
everybody's
रखते
getting
हैं
married in the industry. There's been a
they
flurry of
are
weddings.
I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so lovely.
Also,
All
it's led
these
to a lot of
all the
simple weddings, and I love that.
I love it भाई. I love it. काश कि मैं भी कर पाऊँ. Let's see. But I would love a simple wedding. In fact, just the other day I was in another show, and I was like, भाई मैं तो अपनी शादी पे खुद मेरा तो प्लान है कि जब इंशाल्लाह होगी, I don't want a big wedding. I want a very small 25-30 लोगों की wedding और बस अपने close लोग हों और बिल्कुल immediate family हो, and that's it. So I'm all for it, and I think people getting married these days is just so lovely. People are finding love, and I also feel that people are getting closer together because you people have formed their own little worlds. So
So, Aisha, what is one thing Ayesha Omar cannot do without? One thing.
Food. I mean, yeah, healthy food. Healthy food. Healthy food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
अब healthy की definition भी हर
हाँ,
बंदे के लिए फर्क होती है.
हाँ.
Healthy food is freshly prepared food, stuff which is not coming out of a box, processed ना हो, preservatives ना हो ज़्यादा, करीब हो, मतलब nature के, देसी हो, freshly prepared ho. So yeah, that.
So now I'm going to ask you a few questions which you have to give really fast answers to. The first thing that comes to you.
No.
You have to blurt it out. No, it's not a rapid fire round. Don't worry. Okay, so your favorite co-star?
Asfar Rahman, Ehsan Khan, Adnan Siddiqui, Hina Dilpazir, Um, और नाम लूं?
Enough,
और
enough.
लूं?
Okay.
Enough.
So where would
Okay.
you be if you were not here? Where would Ayesha Omar like to be if she was not here?
Here as in Karachi या Pakistan?
Pakistan.
Pakistan. I would like to be in Turkey. Ooh. I would love to be in Turkey. Love to be in Turkey or New York or someplace in Europe.
New York is
It
very
could
you. Your
be,
style is very New York also, I think.
yeah, I would love to live in New York. I would love to.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Aisha, 2 words for the next film project that you're doing. 2 words.
Next film project.
जो भी next
भाई
movie
अभी
आने
नेक्स्ट
वाला.
नेक्स्ट पे तो बात आई नहीं है. अभी तो वो 3 जो खत्म हुए हैं, हो रहे हैं, वो ही निकल आए. तो पता नहीं कब. But one of the films, one of the projects, one of the films that I've completed, mashallah, they've signed a deal internationally, and inshallah it's going to be released on Netflix. So very excited about that. I can't tell you what it is right now.
Okay. I'll have to guess for myself.
Yeah.
So where does Ayesha Omar see herself in 10 years? Quickly. Don't think.
Ayesha Omar, well, I mean, भाई अब शादी तो मतलब अल्लाह करे 10 सालों में तो हो ही जाएगी फैसल. So I might see myself. I have 2-3 options where I see myself. Okay, I could be
शादी के
married.
2-3 ऑप्शन या वैसे 2-3 ऑप्शन?
नहीं, एक ऑप्शन शादी का है, married with, वैसे वो भी हो सकता है, but married with a couple of kids, I hope, inshallah, or
Oh,
no
wow.
kids or adopted kids, whatever, वो नहीं सोचा, but married and living on like not a farm, but living in a place जहाँ पे मैं अपनी सब्जियां भी उगा रही हूँ,
Nature.
कोई मुर्गियां भी पाली हुई हो, some sheep, so
The white picket
growing my
fence.
own vegetables.
Little house.
Yeah, so living on, yes, living in the countryside a little bit, thoda sa शहर से and बाहर. So
Aisha,
yeah, that's an option.
now tell me, what message do you want to give out to the little girls watching this? Because a lot of
But
people
you
watch.
I haven't told you my other options. Okay, I was going to tell you 2-3 things in 10 years. अच्छा, इसके साथ साथ, while I'm married, I would love to be a businesswoman. So I see myself as a businesswoman with a brand or a couple of brands that I am, founder of or I've created. So yeah, that a successful businesswoman, inshallah, with married happily, or with a partner who I really, really understand and respect. So married to a partner who I really respect and understand, with or without kids, ye nahi socha, open-ended hai. Or it could be living in another part of the world. Ye bhi ho sakta hai. I could be living in the other end of the world in a completely new life. कभी कभार मेरा दिल चाहता है फैसल मैं सब छोड़ूं और मैं दुनिया के किसी और कोने में जाऊं
and start over.
और and start over, like just a new career. मतलब I could work I could just do waitressing somewhere, or I could be, I don't know, just be a sales girl somewhere, but just start over where nobody knows me. बड़ा दिल चाहता है कभी कभार.
अच्छा.
हाँ,
अब आप
what was
मुझे
your
बताएं
question?
your message for all the young girls watching, for all the girls who look up to you and you're like, ये भी कर सकती है तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. What do you want to say to them?
Oh, Faisal, I love kids. I realized this a little while ago कि मुझे बच्चों से शायद adults से ज़्यादा मुझे बच्चों के साथ time spend करने में मजा आता है. Right? I love hanging out with young kids. Today only we were shooting for
They're
Bulbule
pure,
और
ना? They're pure.
They're pure. And today only there was a kid, हमारे एक co-actor का बच्चा आया हुआ था set पे साथ. वो मेरे साथ hang कर रहा था. मैं जहाँ बैठती थी 2-3 घंटे हमने chit chatting की. And he would leave everyone and he would just come and sit next to me. कभी खामोश, कभी हम अपना फोन पे लगे हुए हैं, कभी वो कुछ कर रहा है, ये वो. And I was communicating, and his father was like, भाई ये तो आपका तो best friend बन गया. I was like, because I love kids, and I make sure that they see that I'm actually genuinely interested in knowing your perspective and knowing your point of view. मुझे actually बच्चे और young लोगों का point of view सुनने में और जानने में बहुत मजा आता है.
They're not bitter. They're not cynics.
They're not cynics, exactly. They're very pure. Their reactions are very straight up. And young girls, I particularly love to connect with. मेरी दोस्तों की बेटियां, मेरी neighbors के बच्चे. And just 2 days ago, there's a family friend, और उसने कहा कि उनकी 2 twins हैं 12 साल की, 2 young girls, and their father died 3 years ago, and 2 years ago. And she said something. She's like, Ayesha, I really, really want you to be the mentor of my 2 twins, my girls. And I was like, okay. So I just want to say this to all young people out there, girls, boys, anybody, कि यार देखिए shortcuts तो जिंदगी में ना लेने की कोशिश करें, और ना आप aspire करें shortcuts के लिए, और ना उनसे attract हो. If you want to do something, you'll get it. You'll do it. If you put the thought out there, you want something in life and you work towards it, you will get it. Nothing can take that away from you. If you're meant to get it, you will get it. हमारे मुल्क में tolerance level बहुत low होता जा रहा है, and that is something which is very disconcerting. We are not accepting, we are not tolerant, we are not we just, I don't know what it is, all this hate that you see on social media also, Faisal. I think it comes from wanting your way,
with everything.
A sense of entitlement. एक sense of entitlement है.
जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो सही और तुम पागल हो.
हाँ, एक वो भी है. And then also, I think there's a lot of, there is a lot of frustration, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of envy, and there shouldn't be, because what you're meant to do, you will do. And आपको अगर लगता है कि आप जो चीज कर रहे हैं वो सही है, आप करें और आपको उसका सवाब मिलेगा, तो आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? आपको तो कोई वरी नहीं होनी चाहिए, सारा सवाब आप समेट रहे हैं, तो आप तो अपनी फिक्र करें, हर बंदा अपनी अंदर देखे. And also, we have to start being nicer to ourselves. We have to be gentler to ourselves. बचपन से, yeah, and by that I mean, where there are a lot of kids grow up in households जहाँ पे parents से बहुत डांटें पड़ रही होती हैं. Parents are not being able to show love because उनके circumstances ऐसे होते हैं, financial instability है, emotional instability है, बहुत कुछ है. And parents are not very loving towards their kids. तो बच्चों को ज़्यादा love और warmth मिलती नहीं है. They don't know how to express it. And then they also start talking down to their own selves. Like हम अपने आप को डांट रहे होते हैं, हम अपने आप को बुरा भला कह रहे होते हैं. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think कि हमारी opinions अच्छी होंगी अगर हम उनको express करेंगे. हमें लगता है कि अगर मैं कुछ बना के दिखाऊंगी किसी को तो वो बुरा लगेगा लोगों को, like anything. But we just have to remember that what we think of ourselves matters a lot more than what others think of us. And I think parents should really be limiting the amount of time that kids spend on social media. And they should be letting kids explore things on their own, whether it's like finding out about some particular thing. जिस तरह हम encyclopedias में चीजें ढूंढते थे, there was no Google. If I wanted to find out about something, भाई एक set of encyclopedias है, जाएं उसमें से सही वाली ढूंढें, फिर पूरी encyclopedia में से pages में से वो चीज ढूंढें, उसके बारे में पढ़ें.
Thank you for your time, Ayesha. Thank you for your time. It's been lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really nice. Bye.